Welcome back to my kitchen. Today I thought I'd do something new. We're going to go ahead and try and make a lasagna, and we're going to replace the noodles from the lasagna with a cottage cheese flatbread, which I will show you how to make momentarily. For that, we're going to need the following ingredients. Cottage cheese, an egg, some Italian seasoning, 4 ounces of mozzarella cheese, 1 pepper, some mushrooms, an onion, a can of tomato sauce, ground meat, and some low-fat Greek yogurt. I've gone ahead and preheated my oven to 375. We're going to go ahead and combine our ingredients needed for the flatbread. We're going to cook them off in these dishes here so that they're the exact size that I need them. I won't have to do any cutting. So we're going to take a cup of our cottage cheese and we're going to drop it in our blender here. We'll take our 1 egg and dump that in there. And as little or as much seasoning as you want to use for you. And blend until smooth. Now that our mixture is smooth, we're going to go ahead and divide it up into these 3 containers. So to do so, I'm going to dump 1/3 of a cup into each one of these. Then we're going to level them out, smooth them out, so that we can make a nice flatbread. So now that we have our flatbreads in our dishes, I'm going to go ahead and just set them on a cookie sheet here. Toss them into our preheated oven, again preheated to 375. So we've gone ahead and set our timer for 40 minutes. Now it's time to get started on the lasagna mixture itself. First thing we're going to do is start prepping ingredients. So we'll get this stuff out of the way for now. I just like to cut my mushrooms into thirds and then nice, decent sized chunks. For the peppers, somebody showed me a new way to do peppers. Cut the end off, cut the bottom off. And then what we're going to do is you're going to take your knife and then run your blade around the edge. Just rotating it as you go. Be careful, don't cut yourself. Takes everything out pretty clean for you. So for today, to make chopping easier, what we're going to do is we're going to be using the chopper I found. I kind of learned about it on TikTok. All it is, very simple. Put your item in there, hammer it down. Okay, same idea for the onions. The peppers and onions are all going in the same thing, so it doesn't matter. They can go in together. Perfect, those are done. And clean this up, I'll be right back. So now for this next part, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna preheat our stove. We're gonna use that to cook the ground turkey. While we're doing that, we're gonna prep our sauce. So for our sauce, we're basically making what they call a rosé. But instead of using a cream, which can be very high in calories, we're going to go ahead and use a Greek yogurt. It's going to give you the same effect, less calories, but it's also going to pack some protein in there as well. And we're going to set this aside for later. Right now it's time to cook the ground turkey. All right, so let's go ahead and grab our 6 ounces of ground turkey. Toss that right in the pan. So about halfway through the cooking process for the ground turkey, we're gonna toss in about 1/2 cup of our peppers and onions. Give those a mix. Then as that's finishing, we go ahead and add in our sauce. And mushrooms. I'm just going to combine this. Most of this is going to cook down in the lasagna itself. Set that aside and wait for our flatbreads to be done. Okay, so our timer's gone off. We're going to go ahead and check on our flatbreads now. Oh, they're looking good. So we're going to go ahead and let these chill, and then we're going to start assembling our lasagna. So now that our flatbreads have had a chance to cool down, this is what they look like. We're going to go ahead and start assembling our lasagna. We're going to start with just a little bit of the sauce out of the can, just enough to layer the bottom, and then you're going to put down a flatbread. I'm going to start with that one first. Next, we're going to take a scoop of our sauce, just going to smear that around evenly. Sprinkle the cheese, another flatbread, more sauce, and a layer of cheese. the final piece of flatbread, and the last bit of sauce. And last but not least, we're going to top it off with the rest of the cheese. We're going to throw this in a 375 oven, and we're going to let it sit in there until the cheese is completely melted and bubbly. And we'll be back soon. There's our timer. It's been 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and check on our lasagna and see how that looks. Wow, that looks really good. Nice and bubbly, good brown on the cheese. We're going to go ahead and pull that out. I'm going to let it cool before I cut it, and then we're going to taste it and see how it is. Our lasagna is finished cooling, so now I'm going to go ahead and cut into it and give it a taste. Look at that cheese pull. I'm actually pretty surprised at how well this turned out. It tastes exactly like lasagna. You could barely tell that it wasn't noodles in there. And the size came out to be what I think would be 2 portions instead of 1. So that's going to impact what the macros actually are per serving. I am going to go ahead and post those on the screen very shortly, so you should see those. I would appreciate it if you could check out some of my other videos. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next show.